Hello, the only Nikki here. So, I finished this today. Yay! However, I'm not going to review it just yet. I'm going to do a separate video for that. I just wanted to do a video because I am super excited about this charity I found, and it was in this book. I would never have even thought of this until I read this book. So I am so grateful to Joshua Becker for this. So as some of my viewers may or may not know, I was married at one point. I've been divorced since 2007. And I held on to my wedding dress long after I was divorced. I kept trying to sell it at consignment shops and I couldn't sell it. Nobody would buy it. Nobody wanted it. Wedding dresses are like the stupidest thing to buy, in my opinion, and I still did it. Even at the time, I knew it was a stupid thing to buy. But you spend crazy amounts of money for a dress you're going to wear once, and you will never get money for it again because wedding dress fashions change so quickly that, like I said, every place I took it, they're like, it was like a $600 dress. And I'm like, we'll give you $50 for it. So I ended up donating it to the theater company I work for. So it's up in our costume shop now. I actually have worn it in a couple of shows, which was funny because I lost a lot of weight after I got married. So my dress was, anyway, that is so not what I'm talking about today. What I am talking about is my wedding ring. My wedding ring and my engagement ring. I still had those up until this morning. And for a while I was wearing them on my right hand as kind of like a symbol of my independence after I got my divorce, but really because they were beautiful. Here's a picture. Yeah, isn't that beautiful? So, I'm not gonna lie, I had a really hard time letting them go, but for the past like 8 years or so, I haven't worn them. I'm not a diamonds person, and I get upset about the whole process behind diamonds anyway, and I'm not a flashy, look, I'm wearing like beads, and I think I got these at the Dollar Tree. I'm not a flashy jewelry person, so I wasn't wearing them, and I went to, obviously pawn shops aren't going to give you crap for expensive jewelry. I would have been lucky to maybe gotten $100, and we paid originally for the set, it was worth right around $5,000, and I would have been lucky to get $100 for them. So I went to a couple of jewelry resellers, some We Buy Gold places, and I was just like, either they straight up wouldn't take them, or I was offered like piddly amounts of money. And I was so like upset by the process, thinking these are worth so much money, why can't I get this much money back? So I've just hung on to them this whole time, and I thought maybe I'll get them reset, but again, I'm not a diamonds person. So in this book, he mentions a program. There's a woman who was part of a church group, and they were funding building wells in countries in Africa, or villages in Africa, that did not have access to clean water. And they were just debating like how to raise money for these missions, like garage sales and this and that. And this one lady who self-admitted had been materialistic her whole life said, I bet my wedding ring could pay for 2 or 3 villages to have fresh water. So she sold her wedding ring, and they dug a brand new well for a country or for a village in Africa. And since then, she started a nonprofit organization where people can send in their old wedding rings and diamonds and gold, and they partner with a company that will buy them at like the top dollar amount they can possibly get for it. And then the proceeds go to build wells to villages in Africa. So my ring is on its way there right now. And I'm not saying this to brag or say, look how wonderful I am. No, I'm telling you all this because I want anybody who might watch this, if you have, a wedding ring you don't need anymore, don't want, or whatever, this exists, because I would have never even thought of donating my ring somewhere to do good for other people. And God knows that's more fulfilling to me than the maybe $200 I would have gotten somewhere else. That what would I have done with that $200? So no, this is so much better. So I will leave a link to that. It's just the organization is withthisring.org. I'll put the link in the description. Along with that, I just happened to Google, I still had my wedding veil, which I was trying to sell on eBay, again, thinking the whole, like, this was a $300 veil. Yeah, I bought a $300 veil for my wedding. I couldn't even get somebody to buy it for $25 on eBay. So I just did some Googling after finding the With This Ring charity. And there's another one that collects dresses and wedding apparel for couples who are facing terminal illness so that they can have the wedding and or vow renewal. I can never say that. Vow renewal that they've always wanted. So I've contacted them to make sure they'll take a veil and not a dress, because like I said, my dress is destroyed at this point. So I will put that also in the description. These are, again, things I never would have even imagined doing with my old jewelry. So I wanted to put that out there so people are aware that this charity exists. I'm super excited about it. I did Google, not Google, well, I Googled, but I did a little more research on not just the charity, the With This Ring charity, but the company they partner with. I made a couple phone calls and did a little digging around just to make sure everything was on the up and up, because I didn't want to, send my ring off and have it just disappear and never see it again. Not that it matters, because it's one less thing in my life that's been hanging over my head. So that's all I wanted to share with you today, just because I'm like super excited about it. But I will start recording a review of this, and I'll hopefully get it up before the end of the week. But this book, I'll save it for the review. This book is really good, you guys. But that's for the review. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have an awesome day.